If you think you heard everything there is to hear about corporate welfare, think again. Even though last year retail giant Walmart made $20,000 in profits every minute of every day, for a total of $10.3 billion on the year, Walmart received $37 million in subsidies. Of the $37 million, much of the money was used to widen and extend the road to Bentonville, Arkansas, where the headquarters of Walmart is located. Supposedly, the purpose of this project is to make it easier for the workers to get to their jobs. The culprit of this insane subsidy is none other than House Representative John Boozman from Arkansas. While many people in the United States are going hungry, it seems ridiculous that a profitable store such as Walmart should be getting any subsidies. Subsidies given to companies that make big profits do nothing to help the average taxpayer. Nonsense subsidies must be stopped unless they help the average person, as in the case of college and university subsidies. Howie Commissioner for North Arkansas does not seem to be okay with this subsidy for Walmart. He complained to American press that the $37 million is way too much for one project.
Bank of America, the nation's largest bank, has now gone 2 years in a row without paying any federal corporate income taxes. In 2009, Bank of America claimed a $1.9 billion tax benefit from the government. Despite a loss of $2.2 billion in 2010, Bank of America actually received a tax benefit of almost $1 billion. In Connecticut specifically, not paying the tax cost the state $500 million. Also, according to a tax expert, Bank of America's $1 billion in losses could eventually lead to reductions in taxes in the future. In addition, Bank of America's stock plunged 58% this past year, and the company made plans to lay off over 30,000 employees. But that didn't stop Chief Executive Brian Moynihan's compensation package to quadruple to nearly $8.1 million. Despite the fact that the Compensation Committee kept Moynihan's salary the same at $950,000, Moynihan also landed a $6.1 million in performance-reliant stock, $420,000 worth of tax and financial advice, and unlimited use of the company's aircraft, all part of the compensation package. According to a Bank of America report filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, Moynihan made nearly 317% more last year than the measly $1.9 million he mustered up in 2010.
In 2008, Goldman Sachs received $10 billion in corporate subsidies. In 2011, at the end of the year, Goldman Sachs' total asset was $828 billion. The first quarter of 2012, the net income was $2.11 billion based on the New York Bank. Less than 3 years after receiving $10 billion in money from the American taxpayers, Goldman Sachs informed its employees that they will fire 1,000 workers in the United States and elsewhere, shifting their jobs to cheaper Singapore labor market. The move to shift 1,000 jobs to Singapore is part of an overall effort by Goldman Sachs to cut $1 billion in operating costs over the next year. However, Goldman Sachs is firing American workers at the time of a record profit for the company, which ran $2.7 billion in profits the first 3 months in 2011 alone. As of April 13, 2012, Chief Executive Lloyd Blankenfield received $16.2 million in a pay package, a 14.5% increase in that came primarily from salary bump and greater stock rewards. Blankenfield's compensation included a $2 million salary, a $3 million bonus, and a $10.7 million worth of stock. Compared to the previous year, Franklin received $14.1 million pay package, including $600,000 salary and a $5.4 million bonus and $7 billion worth of stock.
ExxonMobil made a profit of $66.5 billion in 2011. The CEO, Rex Tillerson, made $34 million that same year. Tillerson also got a hefty bonus in 2011 that came out to over $4 million. Federal subsidies for the domestic oil and gas industry ranges from $4 billion to $41 billion a year. The average person's federal tax rate is 20.4%, whereas ExxonMobil's federal tax rate is 17.6%. In 2009, Exxon paid $0 to the federal government for taxes. Its domestic profit was $2.6 billion. Exxon funnels money through wholly owned subsidiaries in countries like the Cayman Islands to avoid paying taxes. The company shows to have paid $3.1 billion in taxes, but that was composed of federal and state taxes, which are really paid for by the drivers, and employee payroll taxes. Recently, the Senate voted down President Obama's bill that would repeal tax breaks for major oil companies, which is interesting because Exxon alone spent about $13 million in lobbying to Congress.